Hello G-Nation, we got a brand new character to preview again. This time it is the chase for this month. It is Lita, Rebel by Design. She is a showboat and she is an absolute must-have character. Really good. So first let's have a look at the poster. The coach ability at 26,000, which is 6-star. Is a black finisher, do 50% more damage, does not include submission move. If you get her at 5-star, it is 40%, which is still pretty sizable. Again, I'm assuming every character this month is going to be one of those at a different color. She has links with the Women's Superstar and the Modern Era and One Gear. And yes, Lita is modern, because if you check here, it is all about her 2022 comeback and the Rumble, which is obviously Modern Era. So, first moveset we're going to have a look at, and pretty much the only moveset you have to look at, really. I mean, I'll get some other moveset going, but I mean, who are we kidding? This is the moveset you should be using, and in no case or any circumstance you should use any other movesets. Like, even if there's row bonus or feud bonus or whatever that boosts any of the other moveset, they still wouldn't be as good as this one, even buffed out, because this one, even if it's going to do less damage, it is a guaranteed stun lock for as long as you want to. The only downside of this moveset is if you get dodged, which kind of screws up your rotation, or an anti-stun belt, which is not even that big of a deal, because even with an anti-stun, you can cycle and do a ton of damage. Anyway, enough talking. Let's get on with it. First moveset, Lita Salt, 10 MP yellow move. A finisher deals 305.5k damage, gains 7 blue MP and pin the opponent. The Lita Kanrana, 8 MP yellow move, deal 207.7k damage and force your opponent to skip their turn for 2 turns. And the single leg monkey flip, 7 MP blue move, deal 82.4k damage and choose 6 gem to make into yellow gems. So as you can see, pretty ridiculous. You got the average cost blue move that will give you the yellow. The yellow will stun your opponent for 2 turns and will give you your finisher that gives you the blue. And the blue again gives you the yellow you need to stun. And I mean, you can do that every turn. Trainers, we're going to use Lawler to start with that blue. We're going to use Orton here, which adds 45% damage to all yellow move. Now you could use, I believe it is Mutant Balor, that increased by 150% the finisher specifically. Unfortunately, I don't have him, so I'm going with Orton. And I mean, we do have 2 yellow move that hit hard both, so even if you don't have Balor, which again I don't, it is still pretty useful to use Orton because he's going to boost both yellow moves. As such, also with the coaches, I'm putting Santa Hogan here because I don't have the perks up or anything yet, so I'm going to be short in MP. And, well, I do have +1 MP from the perks right now. I don't have the full +3 yet. If I had the full +3, I wouldn't care about putting Santa there, but I don't. I need the extra 1 MP, so I'm putting him there. Keep that in mind. If you don't have Santa, you're going to be short MP, and you're probably going to need to put a secondary MP trainer instead of Orton. But if you have the perks on, you don't need Santa, and you don't need extra MP, you're going to have enough. In which case, I would put on top of Gooker Hall of Fame Rick Rude. Hall of Fame Rick Rude adds 25% yellow damage to moves. I put on Gooker because Gooker adds 25% to all colors, so it's going to help my blue a little. But Hall of Fame Rick Rude is the important one if you don't have Gooker, because he adds 25% to yellow, and obviously yellow is the big deal here. Now for the belt. Don't really need any skill plate for that. I put in cheap shot, but I mean, really, the skill plate doesn't matter whatsoever. I highly recommend that you put 4 of the takedown medals because they add 20% each for your move damage. In this case, adding 40% because I got 2 set of them, and obviously a yellow move medal. I do have a takedown yellow percentage one, which I probably got like super recently because I haven't got any of those for the longest time, and it adds 200% to the yellow move damage. So that is a really good medal. Right now we're getting plus 238% move damage, and that is pretty big. That makes a finisher well over 1 million. Let's do this. We're gonna go versus Becky. We're taking a pretty good risk going against a trickster because, as I said, the main weakness of this is getting dodged, so not the best opponent to go against, but I also don't have that many female that are open to attack on the road, so we'll go with what we get. So, again, I don't have the perks that boost the amount of MP I'm getting from gem matches, so I need what? I need 7 MP. So I pretty much need to make a straight line. Actually, that ain't gonna work. Let's put it here. It's gonna give me 7 and reduce my chances of getting a cascade. Let's hope we don't. We still did, but we're still on our turn. That's great. Now we're gonna put the stun, and that stun did over 800,000 damage on its own. It did 847,000. And now the finisher is going to do 1.24 million. And keep in mind, I'm pretty sure it's going to finish the match because that's half the health she has left. But if it doesn't, it refills my blue, so I can do those three moves all over again next turn. Let's see. There you go, 1.2 mil. She's not getting out of that. Maybe. Nope, not even close. But if she did, I can go like this over and over and over every turn. That is why this moveset is incredibly powerful. Because you can stun her, and I mean, you stun her for 2 turns. So even if she has a, for example, a anti-stun, well, you can still go with your moves next turn and do all 3 moves yet again. I mean, it's almost 2 million damage every turn at 5-star gold. That's going to be pretty nasty at 6-star. But if she doesn't have an anti-stun, she won't even get a turn. So even if it didn't recycle, you can just do like, just do gem swap if you want. I mean, she can do anything for 2 turns. So anyway, let's have a look at something else. I'm pretty sure nothing's going to compare to that. Alright, second moveset for Lita. Now the stun being the 5-star move, you kind of need something else at 4-star should you ever use her at 4-star. Like if you recruit her at 3-star, for example, and not at 5-star, and you want to use her until she's 5-star. Kind of need another moveset for that. So we're going to do or use a variation of it. Basically, we're replacing the stun by the running tornado DDT. 7 MP blue move, deal 89.7k damage and deal 379.8k bleed damage to your opponent for 2 turns. It's a pretty strong bleed. For trainers, we're going to use trainers that helps that bleed. Now again, sorry. Again, since I don't have the perks on right now, I do need that extra 1 NP, so I'm putting Santa there. The other coaches and trainers, I'm putting trainer shield set so that my bleed do 66% more damage. And I'm putting Woods as a coach so that my bleed do 50% more damage. If I didn't need an MP instead of Ogun, I would use Carry Saint. That would add another 25% to that bleed. Now you still have the option to use the bleed and keep boosting the finisher here instead, whether you use Mutant Balor, Hall of Fame Rick, or Gooker. That would also work, but since we did that the last time, I said, nah, let's boost the bleed instead. Now this could be viable too in feud if you got a big feud bonus that increase your bleed by a lot more. Would be totally viable, but again, the first moveset is a guaranteed stun lock. So why would you risk it? Let's try that. Not changing anything as far as the metal sets either. And not only is the first set a guaranteed stun lock, but it's a stun lock that does a ton of move damage. So it's not like you're going to need to run it 50 times. Like, for example, if you're using Zombie Page, I mean, she's a guaranteed stun lock. Actually, it's even less guaranteed though. And you gotta run it like 50 times. Lita, you gotta run it like once or twice. Alright, so we got the bleed on right now. You'll have to excuse the bit of lag right now. My computer is rendering a video in the background, so that's slowing my game a bit. Now we're gonna put our yellows. And now we're gonna hit the finisher, which in this case is gonna hit for 1,000,000, but it's gonna refill both blue moves. Now that she might get out of. She will get hit by both of those bleeds on top of it though. That's an extra 1.6 million of bleed, and thanks to the bleed, she's probably, yeah, she did not even get out of that. Had she got out of that, we would have the moves ready again. So that's pretty effective. I mean, the only downside, as opposed to the first one, is that the first one guarantees she's never going to have a turn. This one, if she kicks out, she does get a turn. You're going to completely kill her the following turn, but still. So still a pretty good one to consider. Let's have a look at something else. Alright, if we keep looking at movesets that work, but you're likely never going to use, let's have another one. This one is going to be the Twist of Fate, 9 MP yellow move, deal 157k damage and choose 10 gems to destroy. The Lita DDT, 4 MP red move, deals 61.3k damage and choose 2 columns to make into multiply gems of strength 4. And the Inverted Twist of Fate, 6 MP red move, deals 75.7k damage and choose 2 gems to make into 2-turn Juggernaut gem that will increase your yellow MP by 5 on every countdown turn and make 9 multiply gems into red gems at the end of the countdown. Trainers we're going to use for that. We're going to use Butch so that we start with more red. We're going to use Matt Hardy so that our multiplies are going to be of +2 strength. We're going to use Rock so they're of +1 strength and do 5% more damage. And we're going to use Hall of Fame Andre so that our yellow moves do 10% damage, but more importantly, yellow move will destroy 1 extra gem. Now, if you don't have Matt, or even an option if you do have Matt but want to use someone else, you could use a Zombie Nakamura. What he does is yellow move that destroy gem will destroy 4 more gems, and yellow move that deal damage will deal 30% more damage. So you're going to do a little more damage with the move, and you're going to get to destroy 4 gems, which means more multiplies that you're going to destroy. The reason why I went for Matt instead is that while destroying extras are pretty nice, the second turn of the Juggernaut is that it will make multiplies into reds. So that is kind of nice, because the stronger the multiplies are, the better, as opposed to the Twist of Fate, which will only help in one case destroying them. Kind of liked it better for that. Now you could use who is the one that, I don't remember, who's the one that generates red that we got last month? Bianca. Like if you were to use Bianca here, you would make 12 multiplies into red with each, so that would be a pretty strong option as well. Right, as far as the belt here, is there any plate we could use? I believe the ones that affect the multiplies are either blue or black, so that's not going to be of any help for us here. Not going to be touching on any black, not going to be making any blast, not going to be making any break. We might destroy 4 or more reds, so I guess you could go with the Almas plate, but that looks like a hell of a waste. Yeah, let's keep going with Cheap Shot. Right, so we're gonna put our juggernauts. I'm gonna put them there because that way I can match the red, and that's gonna give me enough to do my red moves again next turn. Which means I'll put more of those multipliers out. Well, she's gonna put a bunch of traps, so that might get rid of some of mine. Well, that's gonna get rid of one of my juggernauts. Well, it survived. Okay, so now that gave me my yellow right there. Let's get this. Now the Juggernaut are gonna go off and convert the remaining. Unfortunately, I did not have time to put down more, as I lost one turn on the pin. That kind of screwed up my thing right there, but again, that old moveset is very wildcardy, because again, if you get pinned, it screws some of the turns from the Juggernaut. And if you don't, well, it takes you 3 turns before you do anything worth a damn. Alright, so. I'm gonna pick those. And now I get to destroy 11 gems. We're gonna pick those 4, because then the other yellows are gonna collapse. Then we're gonna grab the reds, the yellow, and actually we can grab all the others. And that's gonna get rid of every multiplier there. 1.8 million. And she's out. Again, that works pretty damn well, but it is highly unstable in the fact that if you get pinned, it kind of screws with your Juggernaut a bit. Now, is it that big of a deal? Not necessarily, because the first turn of the Juggernaut, it gives you MP. So even if you get pinned, you're still going to get the MP. It's not wasted. But if you need a second turn to get out of your pin, you're going to lose all your multipliers. Plus, depending on what they do on their turn, they're going to move things around. They're going to get rid of some of your multipliers. So by the time you're on the third turn, how many of them are going to be left? Did you get a red match so that you can put a second set so that it's there for the third turn? So I mean, there's a lot of maybes. And I always go back to, why would you bother when the first move set is a guaranteed stun lock? So let's keep looking at some more stuff. Alright, the last moveset we're going to have a look at for Lita is basically the same thing we just tried, except instead of the Twist of Fate that destroys the gem, we're going to go with the Lita Canrana, which is an 8 MP yellow move, deal 207k damage, and force your opponent to skip their turn for 2 turns. Now this, we're going to be using the exact same sets of trainer again, except we're switching for Miz as the last one, which is multiply gems do 15% more damage. You could go specifically with red damage since the Juggernauts are going to turn into red. I kind of went to Miz just because in case we get a cascade or I need to break some in the meantime, we're going to get bonus from any colors doing that. But just specifically 20% red could work as well. Let's give that a shot. Oops. Kind of need to go back to a tour here. There you go. Alright. So I do have yellow matches right up there. So we're going to go for that. That way we are gonna have or stun ready for the second turn. Now we will get hit by her moves on her second turn too. Well, on her first turn, I should say. Let's put our Juggernaut there. Or yellow's ready. We're probably going to lose a lot of our multiplies this time though, because she does affect the board quite a bit. Definitely not the best opponent to go for that. But then again, what's the point to do a preview and see how a character is if I just use a character you just walk all over? Unfortunately, that ended my turn as well. Getting my ass kicked. Okay. Now we're gonna stun her for 2 turns. And unfortunately I got nothing on this board. This is a horrible board. We'll match this because we got nothing. Now this shouldn't give me yellows. There you go. That filled my skip, so we're gonna put 2 more turns on that skip or stun. And now next turn it's gonna convert all of those into red. So let's just use this. She's still done for 3 turns. This will give me a ton of red. And it also drained all she had left for else. I mean, this definitely works, but it is definitely trickier versus characters that destroy a lot of stuff on the board or changes a lot of stuff. As you saw, I barely had any multipliers left when I started this after her first turn, so not the best opponent for that, but that's definitely something to keep in mind. Personally, I don't see the point of using anything else than the first moveset, which I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but an option for trainers or coaches would be to use the new free K-Kwik that increase the finisher damage by 50% at 6-star or 40% at 5-star. That would be an option for Coach 2 on top of the ones I mentioned. We can have a look here. If we check her 6-star move, that's a pretty good move, the Lita bomb. Let me check on the portal at 6-star what it is. On Lita, I believe it modifies by 6 the multipliers. Let's just be sure. Yeah, it is a 4 MP red move, deals 142.5k damage and increases the strength of your multiply gem by 6. So that could definitely works its way into a few of the movesets. Sorry, we tried. But again, I don't think it's going to be any better than the first moveset. I'd say overall Lita is a super good character, a super good showboat character on top of that. Very, very useful. First moveset is incredibly strong. That's what I will definitely be using for sure. and a great chase this month. So thanks for watching, guys. If you're not already a sub, make sure to do so to be kept aware when I post new stuff. Have any questions, ask them, and if you like the video, leave a like and share. See you guys. Gia. Ciao.